Every used car has a story. At Windsor Certified, all ours have a happy ending. Buy used with confidence. Windsor, drive happy.
I haven't got a clue either. Well, good evening, and I don't have a clue about many things, but here we are, Saturday afternoon, cool, wet, windy day in Ollie Campbell Park. The rain is actually holding off at the moment, and we're here for this Energia All-Ireland League Premier League division clash between third place Old Belvedere and fourth place Blackrock. Joined in the commentary box, changed from last week. Welcome, Maeve.
Thanks a million for having me, Craig.
Let's go, Belvo!
You hear the Belvo team getting ready to take to the field, and they're out in the middle. This should be a close game today.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, both teams are coming off the back of a loss last week, so I know they're both going to be hungry to get those 5 points onto the board ahead of the season kind of pausing before Christmas. So definitely going to be a big battle.
Christmas party tonight for Belvedere, isn't it?
I think so. I've heard that. All right.
I've heard rumours. Well, there's the Old Belvedere scrolling across your screen. A few familiar names in there. Gemma Farrell back at 10. She's done such a good job marshalling this Belvedere team. And the blank number 18, well, that's Amy O'Mahony. She's come in. Aideen Murta, the victim of some food poisoning.
Never a nice one.
No. And here is the Blackrock College. 15. Just as the referee calls the two teams to the middle. Belvedere in the white shirts today, avoiding the hoop clash with the blue of Blackrock.
A nice strong Blackrock side there. I think the back row today, Aoife Wafer, Dorothy Waugh, Hannah O'Connor are going to be definitely some ones to look out for today.
Yes, the battle for the loose ball so often decides things in these games. And we're underway. And Blackrock, first of all, let the kick-off bounce a couple of times. Makes it towards the 22. They do finally clean it up, although, again, no control at the back of them all. And the ball came out.
That's classic Nevo Dowd now being an absolute pest at the ruck, so definitely setting the tempo early.
Well, Blackrock take the ball away, moving it towards the middle of the field, making a couple of yards over the gain line, and now back. And the kick downfield.
Ella Durkin looking to just get some metres up the field for us.
And the ball is taken and dragged into touch, and that'll be a Blackrock throw, halfway between the 10 metre and the 22 of the Blackrock half.
Lovely.
And finally we get to a set play.
Absolutely, it's definitely not a nice night for the hookers out there throwing with some gale force winds going across the pitch, but we'll work with it to try and get it in our favour anyway.
We'll see what this strong breeze will do for the line-outs. One gets the feeling it could be difficult to get one down the middle. There'll be a lot of balls to the front of the line-out, certainly at the start. That's a good catch and drive from Blackrock. Putting some good pressure on.
Nice few metres up the field, but Belvo have really stopped that maul now, and they're definitely making a bit of a mess of it.
Comes out, first receiver, into contact again. And this time there's a knock-on, and Belvedere have survived that initial onslaught.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be inch for inch tonight, I think. So there you see we won possession back, and Belvedere now have the ball with a scrum. First scrum of the night. Be interesting to see how it goes.
Well, the teams in second, third and fourth in the AIL League at the moment, all separated by 2 points. Belvedere, Blackrock and Railway all have played 8, won 6 and lost 2. So this is fairly important going into the playoffs.
It is, and I think bonus points are extremely important too, whether that's going to be a winning bonus point or a losing bonus point. If you can get a point more on the board than another team, you'll take that.
Beautifully picked up at number 8. Tried to draw the defence. Byrne White. Oh, Katie Corrigan it is, who's driving up the near side. Ball comes back out to the forwards, and they've knocked it on. The referee's going to pull them up on that straight away.
I think that just shows the conditions tonight. The wind is moving that ball, and it's probably a little bit damp as well. So maybe
cold fingers as well, I'd say.
Absolutely, maybe being sympathetic, moving in it, taking a step in tonight for the Nines might need to be.
I think the Nines will be closer to the warmth of the scrum than the cold outdoors of the backs today.
Absolutely, it's definitely a day to be a forward. So.
Bit of shelter from the wind and the scrum. Combination of heat. The backs are very much ready to pounce. First scrum of the game. It's a good steady scrum. Neither side really getting advantage. The referee allowing the play to go on, even though the front rows went down.
8 pick there by Hannah O'Connor. Good strong carry. Had to Cleena now in the second row. Cleena's been a really exciting player for us this season. Her first season down at Rock, and she's been class. Great option in the line out. Really physical.
It's great to see new players coming through all the time.
Oh, absolutely. Here's my Alcorn. Big strong carry up the middle.
Belvedere have counter-rocked superbly there.
There's that counter rock again coming in. I think that was Nebo Dowd again, so she's definitely one to watch.
Into the 22, and unfortunately the ball just going to ground from the pass. Comes out the Blackrock side. Referee still playing advantage at the moment. I suspect this will be a chance for Blackrock to clear their lines. And that they do. They find touch just outside the 22. But that was promising for Belvedere. It's a bit threatening for Blackrock.
Yeah, it's an opportunity now. We really need to get out of our half and try and put some pressure back down on Belvo.
So how long have you been involved with Blackrock?
Been involved with Blackrock since about 2018, 2019 season. So we're going on 5 years. It's great. Yeah, I wish now I could be down on the pitch with the girls today, but...
And what has you on the sideline today?
I just have a small bit of tendonitis, so it's just really a management thing. So hoping to be back on the field now in the next few weeks with the Celtic Challenge coming up. So definitely not far off it, but yeah, it's great that we've such a good player pool down in Blackrock. There's so many players to be able to step in. I think both sides are missing a couple of key players. I know Belvoir are missing Aoife Dalton tonight through injury, along with Rock missing the likes of India Daly and Maeve Deely. So it's great for both teams to be able to have players just to be able to jump in and fill the spaces seamlessly.
That line out not taken cleanly. The ball spilling forward, and there'll be a Blackrock scrum 15 metres in the field of play.
That's unlucky, that line out loss there, but Rock will definitely take that. Any opportunity to get out of our own half. We just had a scrum here a few minutes ago, so hopefully the outcome is a little bit different and we can get up the field.
The wind still howling down the ground from left to right, as you see. Blackrock facing that wind. And they're doing well at the moment. We're 5 minutes into this game. Although they found themselves deep in their half, they haven't really been in too much trouble. Good scrum from Belvedere, but good pick up from Hannah O'Connor at number 8. She's made good ground well past the advantage line. Gets the support. And the ball goes out. And it's driven up again. And these one-off drives working well for Blackrock at the moment.
Definitely. Some nice big dominant carries and some good tackles as well being put in from the Belvo side. It's really very equal out there right now.
And with such a wind against them, Blackrock.
It's a turnover. Belvo have the ball and they're spreading it wide. So
there are numbers outside. And again, it's gone to ground at the last second. Knock on. Well, that was fortunate for Blackrock, unfortunate for Belvedere. But it was the clean out of the previous ruck where they turned the ball over, and turnover ball is just so dangerous no matter where you are on the pitch.
Yeah, that's it, that counter-attack. That's really great that Belvoir were able to move that wide quickly. Definitely something Blackrock got to be aware of, keeping that width in defence.
Well, deep inside the Rock 22 now. I find it somewhat ironic that Belvedere and Blackrock, two staunch male schools, produce such good women's rugby teams. That's the way of the world.
That's it exactly, and I think it's a lot of the girls, even in both sides, aren't even from Belvedere or Blackrock themselves, but down the country. So it's great for girls to be able to come up from wherever they're from.
It's great for the rugby clubs themselves as well.
Definitely.
I'm a strong believer that if you have a strong women's section, you have a strong club. Certainly Belvedere showing that in the last couple of seasons. These two teams, of course, 2 of the top 4, they'll probably qualify for the playoffs. Is it all about avoiding bows in the semi-final?
Well, I think that's one way to look at it, but also, with after Christmas, with the teams being, I suppose I'm just trying to think which internationals will there be internationals gone or here or whatever, but I think you could look at it like that, or you could just go off and want to absolutely have a goal.
Well, you'd probably have to beat Bowes at some stage. Why not the semi-final?
I think so. Yeah, they've been lightning. I know last week as well. They put on a good performance here in Ollie Campbell Park, so they're definitely the ones to beat right now, sitting top of the table.
Again, the call of representative rugby and international rugby will disrupt the playoffs again this year, as it did last year. Seems a shame, really, that the Premier players aren't playing in the Premier Club competition at that stage.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a bittersweet thing. It's great being able to have players from your club representing the country, but as well, you of course you want them back home and being able to help the club put the best foot forward. But it's also such a space for girls who might not be involved internationally to step up and show coaches and show the staff what they can really do. So we've definitely seen a lot of players come through the ranks that way who now have an international number on their back. So
yes, certainly the opportunities good and strong. New ball kicked onto the pitch. Nice left foot as well. Good distance made. It shows you the strength of the wind as well. You can see on the posts to our right how much they're swaying.
absolutely. And the flagpole's a bit of a dangerous position here now for Blackrock. Belvedere with their line out 15 metres out. So
Ruth Campbell takes the jump, but not straight. Deemed by the referee. And scrum down to Blackrock and a chance for them to clear their lines again.
Yeah, we're really under pressure here now. We've really got to, whether we kick it or decide to run it, we need to get outside this 22 and take a bit of pressure off ourselves so we can be nice and cool and figure out how we're going to get up the pitch.
Well, I think it's fair to say in the first 10 minutes we haven't really been out of the Blackrock half, but then again Blackrock will be heartened by looking at the scoreboard and seeing the score still 0-0. Nothing for either team there. Another good scrum. Ball taken again by Hannah O'Connor, and it goes out to the wing. The strength of the wind is such that any ground to be made for Blackrock is going to have to be through the hands. Be one of those days where you could put a kick up too high and it will actually end up behind you.
Absolutely. The wind definitely has that bit about it. There we go. That's straight out. So we're back down inside the 22 for a line out. Let's hope that we can turn it over like we have been doing.
Well, that was the danger of taking the kick so close to the line, was that the wind just, well, it pushed it out over the touch judge, deciding. So back it goes, the ball having started outside the 22 and passed back for the kick. So another Belvedere line just inside. Let's see if they can get this one right now. The last one, well, it went to Ruth Campbell. It wasn't straight. This one misthrown and knocked on by Blackrock at the tail. So a rare opportunity for Blackrock to take the ball and drive really at the heart of the Belvedere defence.
Yeah, that's very unlucky now, and it's going to put us in another pressured situation.
Well, the Belvedere men had a game at 3 o'clock here today. They were playing Queen's University, comfortable winners in that game. And I think a few of the spectators from that have hung around. We have a very good crowd today.
Absolutely, yeah. It's great to have such a nice atmosphere at some of the women's AIL games.
Scrum just inside the 22. Chance for Belvedere now. Good solid platform, good solid scrum, driving forwards, keeping it controlled at the number 8. And number 8 picks up and drives.
It's Brittany Hogan. I know the Belvedere girls will be happy to see her back in the old Belvedere jersey after being away with Ireland in Dubai.
Well, she certainly has made a difference coming in last week as well. And this ball, just seemed to have gone backwards by the referee.
Backwards, yeah.
It's a shame. Couldn't take that pass, hitting the line at such pace. Leslie Ring ships it on. Campbell it is, taking it into the midfield, and she's earned the penalty. And one has to think that Leslie Ring is going to ask Gemma Farrell to put this one over the posts.
Yeah, I think if you've the win behind you, it's not a bad option. Get some points on the board and reset.
It's very much a case of trying to reflect the domination you've had in territory on the board. Although it will only be 3 points, it'll be a very welcome 3 points for Belvedere.
Yeah, absolutely. You never want to come away from a 22 visit without points. So I think any way old Belvo can get 3 on the board, 7 on the board, whatever it is, they'll definitely take it.
Well, it was Ruth Campbell who drove in, taking the ball, that earned this chance for JJ Farrell.
And it could be a game of kicks tonight. We saw the Belvedere Railway game, and it very much came down to a few points, so you'll take any points that you can.
Well, yes, that was a superb game down in Park Avenue. 6-3 it turned out to be to Belvedere, with the last kick of the game to win it.
Yeah, incredible scoreline. You know, that's what happens with these teams, especially at the top of the table. You can see those scorelines. So if you can get your points in front of the post, you'll absolutely take them.
Yes, people always talk about games ending 42-44 or something as being thrilling games of rugby. I'm a firm believer that 6-3 can be just as exciting.
Absolutely. It's really inch for inch. Nice opportunity now for both teams to kind of reset here.
Well, sudden break in the middle of the field, and Ruth Campbell, well, she got well and truly dumped on the ground, but she's made good ground. And Clodagh Dunn now taking it up. This is good from Belvedere.
Yeah, definitely putting rock on the back foot here, having to kind of scramble back, but they're set now in their defensive line with a great cover tackle.
And again, the back row combining. Leslie Ring going to ground.
Absolutely.
Gaffney out, and again, the ball is knocked on by the Belvedere hooker.
Ellen Boylan here out to Andy with a great cover tackle as well by Belvo.
Well-needed tackle. Then a knock-on by Blackrock, the advantage having been played. Result in a Belvedere scrum just outside the 22.
Yeah, unlucky there from Rock. The advantage just ended from a Belvo knock-on. It's really inch for inch now.
I wouldn't have thought any of the girls out there now are complaining about how cold it was earlier. All nicely warmed up to all this chasing around.
Absolutely. It's actually not a bad temperature to be playing rugby when you're running and racing around the pitch. I think it's about 7 degrees. So
once the game starts, it's grand.
That's it.
It's the bit beforehand.
And I think last week was freezing. It was 2-3 degrees. So we'll take the 7 or 8.
Sometimes there are advantages to being behind the pane of glass.
That's exactly it.
Safely tucked away in our commentary box here.
I said no bother when I was asked. We'll be out of the cold.
Safely at the number 8's feet. Gaffney out to Farrell, going across the line now. Oh, Donnelly just taking with her fingertips.
Good hands there.
Just keeping the ball alive and makes another 5 or 10 yards driven on.
Belvedere are going to be really hungry to come away with some points here, so it's definitely a big couple of minutes here.
Campbell again taking the ball into contact. Goes to ground. Ball comes back on the Belvedere side. Gaffney with plenty of people, but instead the referee's awarded the penalty.
Yeah, it's a really tricky position. You don't want to be giving away penalties in that place in the park, but sometimes it just happens. It's interesting now to see what Belvedere will do. Will they tap and go?
Well, it is the tap and go. It goes across the forwards. Neve O'Dowd, she's driving for the line. Goes to ground.
It's Ruth Campbell there with a big strong carry.
5 metres
Here's
out.
Linda.
That's a good tackle.
Good hit by
Blackrock.
Shannon Heaps there. It's a great tackle.
Ball again set up nicely. Defence well set. Belvedere taking on the Blackrock pack for power. Goes to ground again. They're now looking to the blind side. 5 Belvedere players lined up outside. And Farrell goes straight across. And the try is given. Winona Lundstedt it was who took the ball those final few inches and scored the try that gets Belvedere up to 8 points with the conversion to come.
Yeah, Belvo will be delighted now. They spent long enough down in their half there, so they'll be happy to come away with 5 points at least anyway, after 4, even Jackson's kick.
She's married now.
Sorry, it's Farrell. That's now my old brain. Working away, ticking away.
They kept referring to this JJ. I had no idea who they were talking about for ages.
That's why when I hear JJ, I'm like, oh, Gemma Jackson.
The alliteration runs off the tongue far easier than the married name.
Big win now behind Farrell here. might be in her favour.
Wrong side of the pitch for her, but she's done the right thing, which is to... Or just hits the right-hand post. But yes, it was very much just kick it into the middle of the pitch and let the wind take it the rest of the way. It wasn't to be.
That's it. That was a well-worked try there by Belvo. Sucking in the Blackrock players under the post and then having the width in their back line.
The skipped pass, cuts back inside the two tacklers, makes the line. The referee's there to award the 5 points. 8-0 to Belvedere now then, as we reach the end of the first quarter of this game. This AIL Energia Premier League game from Ollie Campbell Park. Blackrock get another opportunity to get out of their half. Oh, crunching tackle in the midfield. Belvedere having secured the ball though. And now Farrell looking for distance with the wind and clears the last line of defence, meaning the ball bounces 4 or 5 times and the chasers can get up there. But good hands keeping the ball available. And across for the support. And danger averted from a Blackrock point of view.
It's
another penalty.
Nevoed out again at the breakdown, being a pest.
It's almost a position on the field these days. Hooker, prop, pest.
No, it is, and I think these games where it is so close, the breakdown can be a real point of contention. And you see here again, giving away a penalty like that in this part of the park can lead to points.
Gemma Farrell's going to take the opportunity to go for the posts again. She's 1 from 2 so far.
We've a change in there from Rock. Kate Jordan has come in to replace Ava Fanning, I believe. Just a little under the... It was under the radar there. Farrell is someone holding the ball here for her.
Shows the strength of this wind. Flags really fluttering. Certainly on the far side of the ground. That is a lovely kick from Farrell. Another 3 points for Belvedere, and that stretches their lead to 11-0. Tough for Blackrock with this wind against them.
Absolutely no excuse, though. I think we need to inject a little bit of more energy now into it, and it'd be nice to be on the attacking side for a little while, so hopefully we can give those long defensive periods a little bit of a break.
Well, yes, and certainly just not less than 20 minutes now until half-time. Then the boot will be on the other foot, as they say. Blackrock will have the advantage of just being able to...
A little bit of wind behind them. Those exits becoming a little bit easier, maybe.
Leslie Ring it is who takes the kick off and drives straight back at Blackrock and is firmly met with a closed door. It comes back to Farrell, and Farrell does exactly the right thing, and again clearing the defenders and making the ground. And every second that ball's on the ground is giving Belvedere a chance to chase it up, and they have done, and they're over the top of it.
You don't want to give that ball an opportunity to bounce at all. If you've got wingers and even front row like Nevo Dowd running down on top of you, that's something we're going to have to definitely tidy up.
Blackrock have secured it, and they're slowly making their way again. Oh, that's going to be a penalty. You can't do that.
It's never worth... Those penalties are never worth trying. It's not a good picture for the ref, and sometimes you'll get away with them, but often you won't. So
the 9's are the most protected people on the pitch, in my opinion.
That's it.
Can't play the 9. 9's allowed to scoot the ball back with his foot or his hand at rocks and mauls. Well, there's an example of the strength of the wind.
That's it, exactly.
That one curling back into touch. Touch judge maybe generous on that one, I felt, but...
Luck will take it.
Very much so. It's Blackrock ball going into this line out.
Sarah Delaney here throwing in the ball for Rock. She's only 19 yesterday, I believe. And she just got her first cap for Ireland, so she's definitely a really exciting player to have, and lovely throw there from her.
Wow, super catch and drive from Blackrock. It's made another 10 metres.
That's once.
It's gone once. The ball comes out. Attacking the Belvedere line. Making extra yards. The ball being stripped. And on this occasion, the strip going forward from the Belvedere player. It'll be a scrum down to Blackrock again.
That's definitely a rare one. You see someone stripping the ball and it coming forward off them, but It gives Rock possession and another opportunity to get up the field.
Well, it was more by accident by anything else, but our commentary box seems to be perfectly placed today because most of the play is certainly down the right-hand side of the field. We haven't quite reached the stage of possession stats appearing on our screen, but just the feeling of the game so far is that this wind has played a big part in it. Belvedere scrum now on this occasion, doing very well to disrupt the Blackrock scrum.
Yeah, that's a huge scrum. Didn't go in the Belbo favour in the end with it twisting, but we've got to sink and squeeze there and try and take a little bit of that pressure.
Well, there's certainly be pressure on the Blackrock front row now for this scrum. We're keen to get this one in and away from the scrum as soon as possible. And Durkin, the out half, waiting patiently as the referee explains exactly what he wants from the front rows. Do take a while to set these days, but at least we don't get the old situation of scrums just continually going down and being reset.
No, it has to be done now. Scrummaging is so technical, and getting in the right body positions very
Another
important.
super push from Belvedere. They've had to pick that one up at 8, and as a result, it's scrappy ball for Blackrock. They need to tidy this up, and they have done so. Lovely pick up at first receiver.
Dorothy Wall there. Here's Captain Hannah O'Connor coming around the corner. It's a nice quick ball being played by Niamh Griffin.
And there's a bursting through the middle, a missed tackle, and suddenly 30 yards made up before she's finally brought to ground. And that's a penalty for Blackrock as well for the high tackle. And we need the physio out. Well, the referee was right on top of that and straight away saw what happened, explaining to the physio.
Yeah, that's never nice to see. That's a My Alcorn classic, a real strong break. She's a very strong ball carrier up the pitch. Good cover tackle as well, but it's never nice to see a player go down like that.
Well, there you go. Shot of some of the crowd. Our roving camera person. You see Blackrock supporters up on the balcony. They'll be hoping that their team can keep the score just to the 11 points so they can have their chance in the second half. Long break in play here. The clock obviously off at this stage.
Here's Maya now. Seems to be getting up, seems to be okay.
Gingerly, I think is the phrase there. Physio giving a strangest sort of fitness test. Can you jump up and land?
If you can jump and land, you can probably run. So definitely an opportunity for both teams to kind of regroup here and chat about what they're seeing, what's working, what's not working, and how they're going to crack on with the next 15 minutes.
Well, that looks like she's heading for the sidelines, actually.
Yeah, maybe for a further assessment. You see her jogging there, it's good, definitely.
She is favouring one side, so the medical specialists will be over there checking her out, and we might see her back again in a few minutes.
Fingers crossed. I think anyone walking off the field is always positive when something seems serious at the beginning, so...
Well, the worry was that she was actually very seriously injured because she was lying still.
Yeah.
Premiership footballers, as you know, roll 3 or 4 times when they've blown their noses. So to see somebody actually lying still on the pitch and the referee calling for medical attention so quickly was a bit worrying, but great to see her under her own steam leaving the pitch in the end.
Absolutely. There'll be no rolling around here on the rugby pitch.
No. Oh, can you imagine the slagging in the bar later?
Would never be worth it. Oh my God.
Yeah. So this scrum, that's the Belvedere 10-metre line you see just behind the number 8. Blackrock inside the Belvedere half. Oh, look, Belvedere have that scrum and they've deservedly earned that penalty. It's been coming for a while now. They've been getting closer and closer to that penalty, and now finally the referee, he liked the picture he was shown and he awards Belvedere the penalty. Well, this gives Gemma Farrell now a chance to punt the ball down the touchline. Her left foot finding touch just about through the fingertips. But it's brought them well inside the Blackrock half, and with another chance to try and add to this 11 points.
Yeah, Belvedere will definitely favour that. It's going their way at the moment, and great scrum there by a nice solid front row to get them a penalty to go down the pitch. It's exactly what your game plan would be.
The line-out call goes in. Still this difficulty of getting the ball straight into the line-out.
Kept nice and simple
referee
there.
let that one go, I think.
Yeah, kept nice and simple, I think, after the last two line-outs. They just need to get the ball in hand and out to that back line.
Miss Campbell doing a good job there, ensuring that possession was secured.
Great defensive pressure by Blackrock to get that defensive gain line and put Belvo a little bit on the back foot there.
Emma Tilly it was who was dancing around and is now on the ground and
There's the
in
rock.
danger of being counter-rocked out of this.
Definitely the rock again.
Fat Blackrock forcing Belvedere to play the ball on the ground with the hand.
Absolutely. It's nice to be on the other side of it rather than Nevo Dowd sniffing around your ruck. So I think that just shows again the point of contention at the rucks is it's really a place to win the ball back.
This occasion, Durkin a little more successful with the kick to touch. Finally, Blackrock will feel that they've a small foothold in the Belvedere half.
Absolutely. And our set pieces definitely line out as one of the things we pride ourselves on. So a nice clean line out now would be lovely. Maybe a maul, get a little bit down the pitch. See what they go for.
Well, the top four in this league, of course, will go through to the semi-finals. It looks like we know the identity of the four clubs. It's just a matter of which order they finish in now.
That spilled ball there, but cleaned up nicely by Rock.
First receiver crashing into the Belvedere brick wall. Again. Going wider this time. Trying to look for some space. Trying to get some pace onto the ball.
Yeah, just trying to stretch that old Belvedere defence a little bit. Find a little bit of a mismatch.
That's
Here
good
we see the
driving.
counter Rock again, so there's no surprise there.
That superb play from Belvedere. Just drove through, cleared out the ruck, and the ball became available. Now you get the feeling Farrell is going to use the wind again. And she does. But on this occasion.
It's much better covered there by Kleena.
And she finds a gap through the middle of the field, gets up past halfway, and the referee's whistle goes immediately.
I'm not sure what he's seen there now. Maybe a high tackle. Might be repeated offences. It's a yellow card for Nevo Dowd.
Well, Nevo Dowd,
They'll really
high
miss.
tackle, went seatbelt style over the top. It's cost her a yellow card, and it's cost Belvedere, well, a 15th player for the rest of this half, I suspect.
Yeah, I think that's something we've really seen in this year's AIL is the refs absolutely knuckling down on that tackle area to be above the sternum bone. So anything above it, they've been blown immediately, and there's been multiple yellow cards given out.
I'd say the change to the laws mentioning the sternum area, well, gets the feeling that a lot of people had to go and look up what sternum was in Google. But it's certainly a good idea. It's sort of just below a line. If you drew a line across the armpits, really, isn't
Yeah,
it? And that's as high as you can go now. Anything over that, as you say, the refs are just stomping on it straight away.
Yeah. Give them a sniff of it and they'll take it. So
Well, Blackrock following Belvedere's lead. Tap penalty given. They run up to challenge that line of Belvedere defenders.
yeah, it's a big 10 minutes now before half time. It's the opportunity for the wheel to kind of turn one way or another. So hopefully now with the one-man overlap, Rock can get some points on the board.
That's it. They do have the numerical advantage. That one going back, says the referee.
well cleaned up there by Ella Durkin. She did well to follow her pass and get back on the ball.
I suppose there's an element of cleaning up your own mess with that one. It wasn't a great pass, but she did get the ball back for Blackrock, and now they've found the edge of the Belvedere defence and maybe trying to get round the edge of it.
Yeah, it's Ellen Boylan. She's got some quick feet, and her speed as well it's class.
Belvedere pack even one light as Neve O'Dell serves out her 10 minutes. Doing a super job there, turning the ball over and earning the penalty that will give them a chance to clear their lines.
Yeah, and Belvo will look to slow it down here as well and just take their time with getting out of their half and trying to break that little bit of momentum Blackrock has just gathered in the last few phases. Some nice phase play there.
A knock on the knee. Looks like it's Captain... Is it Captain Leslie Ring there? It's not, actually.
I think it's Gemma Farrell, is it? Maybe we're both wrong. Getting the other glasses out.
Yeah. Well, they're either going to have to start putting numbers on the front as well as the back of shirts, or injured players are going to have to be told, if you go down, you go down with your back facing the commentary box, please. Now it is Gemma Farrell, because she leaps to her feet, grabs the ball. She's going to find the touchline down that far side. She just manages to squeeze it into touch. Be another Belvedere throw, just inside the Blackrock half. But yes, you're right. This is a vital 10 minutes now. If Blackrock somehow could sneak a try out of this and just going at the break 4 points down, you'd have to think they would be heavy favourites for the second half.
Yeah, just shift a little bit of momentum before halftime would be great. We're used to seeing Belvo have a 5-man here, but without Nevo out, they're down to a 4-man. Little sell out at the front.
To the front. Just intent on securing possession. Very high pass to take, knowing that you're going to get absolutely crunched by the tacklers.
Absolutely, that's a huge double shot coming in from Rock, and that allows you to have that counter Rock as well.
Knock on by Blackrock at the line out.
It's a bit of a late call there coming in.
Yeah.
Maybe the touch judge has his flag out.
Unfortunately, no ref link with us today. Technical difficulties.
Yeah, we're looking at I'm trying to see have Belvo put another person onto the scrum, or are they going to go for that 7-man scrum?
No, they have 8 in the scrum.
8 in the scrum and maybe a winger on the flank, is it?
There we go. There goes Nonstead onto the narrow side of the scrum.
It's always good crack for a centre to get to have a little taster at back row.
You always come out of doing that temporary job with a lot more appreciation for what the forwards do. Number of occasions I got stuck into the forwards. A, they look after you well. B, you're a lot warmer with them. And C, you're a lot safer with them because they do look after the backs who go in to help out.
I think there's another injury here from a Belvo player. Just see the physio coming on there.
Again, we have to emphasize that our game clock here, A, is unofficial, and B, because we don't have the ref link, we can't hear him calling time on, time off. So we're going very much with what we feel is time off. Past performance is no guarantee of future performance. The value of your investment may go up as well as down. All the other cliches that are out there. Well, another serious injury there. I say serious, the physio's spending a fair amount of time in the middle.
I think it might be Lisa Callan, the hooker down there.
It is indeed. It looks like they're asking for a change to be made.
Yeah, Jess Keating's going to come on here now for Lisa Callan. That's unfortunate. Hopefully it's not anything serious. She's walking off, which is
Again, she's upright and breathing in and
That's
out.
it.
So anything after that,
That's unlucky. That's what happens at scrum time. Sometimes it can just be a bit of a mess and you can land in crazy ways.
well, she is making her own way off the pitch, but doing so quite slowly. Referee, however, restarting the game.
It's a penalty there for Belvo.
Tapped and taken on, driven up through the Blackrock line.
Spill ball there at the ruck, but picked up again by Belvo.
I don't know how the ball ended up there without Belvo knocking it on, but the referee was happy with the situation.
Yeah, Belvo going to a pick and go here, trying to
Just
maybe regather a little bit.
ease up the clock as well. Gaffney out, back out to Clodagh Dunn, driving in. Again, back. Oh, that's high.
It's definitely not a good picture for the ref to see there. Doesn't seem to have called anything yet, though.
And here we go. There are people outside. The ball gets away. And it's Emma Tilley, the fullback, coming into the side in place of Anya Donnelly, who normally plays at fullback. She takes the final pass and touches down, and that takes the score out to 16-0. And that's the second try for Belvedere.
Yeah, Belvo are going to be delighted with that. Down to 14 players and getting over the line that way, they'll be very happy.
With just 5 minutes left in this first half, that's ideal timing for Belvedere. They are down to 14 for the remainder of this half. But a second try, 16 points. Well, it gives them certainly something to defend in the second half when they'll have this stiff breeze in their face. Although, I would say the breeze is dropping a bit now. The flag's not quite as frantic as they were, as Gemma Farrell, with a superb kick, adds two more, and the score moves out to 18 to Belvedere, and Blackrock yet to trouble the scorers.
A lovely strike by Gemma Jackson, and every point counts. So
There was the high tackle. Ref didn't notice.
no, and I suppose you kind of stop in your motion as a player anyway. You know, once you kind of hit that high point, you actually just stop because you trying to get away with it, I suppose. So it can be for the worst sometimes even.
Well, Casey Corrigan nearly took too much out of that as it came out to her. See, not overrunning the ball, the support, it's the good thing. Referee taking a tumble. Don't often see him hitting the turf. Belvedere, certainly with their tails up now. 18 points to the good. Ball comes back. And again, Farrell well down the pitch. Slightly misjudged, but regathered by the Blackrock fullback.
It's Abby Moyles. She's one of our key players as well, who's been doing really well this season. She's young and upcoming.
Great to see. More and more options for the Irish team.
Absolutely. The ball
Tilly
in.
takes this one on, and she's going to put on the afterburners, gets round the cover, comes back inside, is met on the 22.
That's Quarendon who hung on to her ankle and got her down there.
That's the advantage of Tilly playing at fullback, is her pace.
It's well done by Sarah Delaney there to get onto the ball.
Just disrupted enough to cause the mishandling. It'll be a Blackrock scrum as we enter into the last couple of minutes of this absorbing first half between Belvedere and Blackrock. Great entertainment here at Ollie Campbell Park on a Saturday evening. I believe the next round of games is January the 6th.
Yeah, the next round of games that'll be the AIL Cup and obviously the Jays leagues, which both teams are in Division 1 here. Belvo and Rock, that will be going on ahead as well in January.
Busy times.
Absolutely, and it's great. Great for every player to be able to get game time.
And of course, only 2 more weeks before we hit the solstice. Days will start getting longer again as well.
Thank God, and hopefully warmer as well.
Ball put in by Blackrock, a far better scrum for them this time,
Yes.
taking on the Belvedere front row successfully.
Yeah, that's a great scrum, and it's lovely for the front row.
That is a super cover tackle. Super work by Corrigan, forcing the Blackrock player into touch as well. Added bonus, getting many congratulations from her team.
That's exactly what you want off an attacking midfield scrum.
Such good work. Well, Jess Keating now. She'll be the one putting the ball into this line out for Belvedere. Just a couple of minutes in this first half remaining. 18-0 to Belvedere. Nice, clean line out. Lovely pass by Gaffney, letting Farrell run onto it, and it's bursting into the midfield. And just one defender to beat. And Mimona Nonstead is going all the way through. And that is a super solo try. And my goodness, Belvedere making the most of this first half. Third try. This one scored under the posts. And with Gemma Farrell kicking so well, one suspects that this might even be 25-0 at half-time, which I don't think anybody expected today.
Yeah, that's a huge score there for Belvo. Going in before half-time, down to 14 players, it's a real statement. So Blackrock definitely have a lot of catching up to do in that second half if they want to come back into this game. A real team try as well, coming from a lovely line-out one by Ruth.
Lovely line-out. The pass from Gaffney got Farrell running onto it, and then the ball across, and then the centre. Well, she found the gap, and at that stage, nobody was going to stop her. Got to the line. Third try for Belvedere in this first half. It's this pass here, just there. You can't quite see it off that angle. It just brought Farrell onto it, so the pass from her was smooth and got away nicely. That's what created the space further out, taken full advantage of. The conversion does go over. The score moves on to 25-0. And according to our game clock, I hasten to add our unofficial game clock, first half, this must be the final play now, one feels.
Yeah, the ref looks pretty happy to go again.
Leslie Ring again taking the kick-off. It seems to have been a recurring sentence for her this half. And Farrell, well, she just wants to find touch, and she hasn't done so. It comes off the back row winger's hands a number of times, juggling. Goes to ground and does finally come back out on the Blackrock side.
Yeah, Blackrock are going to give it another go now. Nebo Dowd has actually returned to the pitch here. So back up to 15v15.
Blackrock trying to spread it wide, trying to stretch this defence in the last moments before half-time.
I think Belvo at this point will just be looking to get inside.
Yep. If they can cause a knock-on or just anything to break up the play now. Time for the half-time orange or Lemsip, depending how you're feeling.
I think Rock will be really, really hungry now to get some sort of points on the board if they can.
Certainly be keen to leave the first half on a positive note.
There's Sarah Delaney gaining a few extra metres. Just releasing the ball and getting up again.
And there is the knock-on. Oh, no. Referee saying not rolling away. He was playing advantage. Chance for Blackrock now. One feels from this position on the pitch, probably tap and go.
Yeah, potentially, or they could look to go for a line out. Well, you can see Hannah O'Connor there having a chat, thinking what's best.
Well, that is one of the more unusual kicks. She was just looking for touch just to get to half-time. And finally, the covering defence manages to complete the task for her. The referee blows his whistle for half-time. And after a few words from Maeve, we'll take a short break and wait for the second half.
Yeah, that's it now. I think both teams really need to regroup. Belvo having a chat about how are we going to stay on top now, and Blackrock thinking how can we get back into this game. So definitely a big second half coming up for both teams.
Could be a chance for Blackrock to start putting boot to ball and collecting yards by the bucketful.
Yeah, and hopefully with the wind behind them, or kicks can get a little bit more distance behind them, and hopefully the opposite on the Belvedere side.
You see the flags on the far side, they are blowing and the flagpoles are bending, but the ones on this side, quite limp. So obviously changeable wind patterns out there, but will Blackrock be able to take advantage of it the same way Belvedere did first half? So we'll be back for the second half in a few minutes. We'll just take I was going to say well-deserved break, but we'll just take a break. Teams engaging in their half-time talks, various words being said. Belvedere the first to break, ready for the second half. Spoken. A great first half for Belvedere, despite going down to 14 for 10 minutes when Neve O'Dowd was shown the yellow card for a high tackle. But it's the 3 tries, 2 conversions. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 2 penalties. Well, this is the first try again. I think that was Katie Corrigan going in on the side. Dunstead's try. The referee calls them back to the middle now as we just see the highlights of this first half from a Belvedere point of view. Tries being scored. All the points were from the Belvedere side. Corrigan nearly taking too much out of that, but managing to get the ball away. Referee calling the Belvedere team to be ready for the second half. And now Blackrock will have the advantage of whatever wind remains. Doesn't seem to be as strong as it was during the Belvedere men's first 15 game. It's too cold to be sitting around. So yes, a quick half time. Ball gets kicked out to the middle. We're very close to getting underway again now. Blackrock will be looking forward to playing with the wind at their backs. Belvedere will be looking to defend. Probably defend deeper than they used to. Wind's going to take any kicks. And there's, you can see the difficulty or the advantage of the wind straight away. This one allowed to bounce and scooting through. And this will be a Blackrock line out deep inside the Belvedere 22. And that's a great start to the half for Blackrock. And all they've done so far is kick off.
Yeah, I think that's the first kickoff that might have went to ground from a Belvo point of view. So that probably just shows the strength behind the wind and maybe the unease of the ball coming flying through the air, the way it's spinning.
Well, Belvedere go up and challenge for that, and it's Ruth Campbell, I think, who's snared that one for Belvedere, and what a vital take that was in the middle of the line out. Superb catch and take, and now driving out towards the edge of the 22. Just reaching, still inside at the moment. The clearing kick is on, and it comes out to Farrell. She goes down the middle of the pitch, and she's found turf, but it's collected, and it's being run back straight away.
Andrea Murphy.
Yes, doing a good job for her side there.
She is. She's comes from football, so she's pacey, fit. She's been great for us in Rock as well.
She's set up this attack now for Rock. The ball going across the back line. Drive into midfield, trying to take in some defenders. The Blackrock scrum half taking on the ball. Oh, that's a fine tackle. Burn White it was who went in, but then she didn't roll away. That's given Blackrock the penalty from here.
That's it. The Rock girls piled into that rock and held her in there. So definitely take the penalty and hopefully get a little bit of distance out of his kick. There you go. Just touched down there by Tilly.
Well, was it carried back over the line? This is the discussion the referee and the linesman are going to have now. Where did she collect the ball? Was it in front or behind? And the decision is she carried it over.
I think, yeah, I thought she touched it before it went back all right.
Despite the cries of her teammates, you could hear the leave it, but she got hands to it, carried over the line, touchdown, and it's given Blackrock absolutely fabulous attacking position, just 5 metres out, 7 metre blind side, plenty of room on the open side, and all the backs are lined out on that side.
Yeah, that's unlucky there for Tilly. I think it's always a little bit of a blurry one, and especially when you have the pressure of a ball actually coming towards you, it can be hard to make that right decision. But we'll take it here as Rock. We finished that first half with a strong scrum, so hopefully now we can do the same again.
Referee barking out his commands. Ball goes in, scrum very steady from both sides.
Yeah, nice, really, really solid scrum.
Even contest between the two. The ball comes back on the Blackrock side. And then the crash ball, unfortunately, knocked on. And that gives Belvedere the respite they want. He'll be there put into the next scrum.
Yeah, that's very, very frustrating from Blackrock. Nice crash ball there by Cats. But we're still down on the 5 metre line now. So hopefully we can put some pressure on. And the wind won't be going Farrell's the way Farrell wants. So hopefully that can add a little bit of extra added pressure and we can live down in this 22 for a little while, like we saw in the first half, but on the opposite end.
Certainly most of the play in the first half was down this end. Having that wind at your back, such an advantage. Belvedere did well to take advantage to the extent of 25 points in that first half. Now they have 40 minutes of trying to defend that.
Yeah, big, strong collision there, and that's Farrell looking for a clearance.
Well, that's a super kick from Farrell. The ball was going into touch, and the Blackrock player just came in an attempt to keep it in play. In fact, has carried it into touch, and that results in a Belvedere throw. They finally made it outside of their 22.
Yeah, from Farrell's point of view, you don't really want to be finding too much airtime, but if you can Get that to bounce over the line, you'll certainly take it. I have a feeling it might be Ruth Campbell going up again here.
Looks like a couple of changes on the Belvedere side. Already knew Jess Keating was on. Now Katie Lade has joined the field of play. Campbell it is, driving up into midfield. Super placement of the ball for a scrum half. Goes wider again. Belvedere just doing enough to break the gain line each time, and on this occasion now, they forced Blackrock their attempt to find the ball, to do so illegally. They conceded the penalty. Farrell will have a chance to push the ball further up the field again.
I'd say she'll just be hoping to
scrum down call.
Avoids the kick. I'd say she's hoping to just get it into touch. There's such a strong wind over that side. No clubhouse blocking it or anything, so they'll take a scrum.
Oh, she noticed on her previous kick how much that came curling back towards the touchline, held up by the wind. This occasion she's decided Belvedere would be better off with the scrum possession.
The last few carries from Belbo have been very explosive, and they've had that time to really get into that full stride, so Rock have to try and smother that out a little bit.
Good scrum from Belvedere, presents good ball. Farrell running across, gives it out. It comes out again. Tilly, she's got two in front of her to beat. She gets past one, but eventually is brought to ground. The ball goes out to Ring, and the captain makes a yard or two over the gain line. This time, Clodagh Dunn it is driving up.
Some nice defensive hits coming in there from Rock.
Very solid. And that's the tackle that needs to be made. Instead, she's already made ground a couple of times. Now the substitutes are on. 17 and 16 have got the ball out. And on the wing, they've made many, many yards. And they're now inside the Blackrock half. But then they spill the ball and give it back to Blackrock. And suddenly there needs to be some cover back. O'Byrne White it is, who's gone deep. But on this occasion, the referee's decided that she doesn't need to be quite as deep because he's awarded the penalty to Belvedere.
Yeah, that was very tit for tat there again at the breakdown, and it's actually Nevoed out again, turning it over. That must be her third or fourth jackal here this evening, so she'll be definitely chuffed with that.
Certainly having a good evening, if you excuse the slight indiscretion of the yellow card. But even that just gave her 10 minutes rest, and she's come back out full of energy again.
I'll tell you now, that girl doesn't need any rest. She could go for days. She's such a great ball of energy and great intent, and great to be on her side with her in your ear cheering you on.
Belvedere again taking the scrum.
Yeah, another good scrum, another good opportunity for both sides to really put on pressure. It's been fairly even, I think, this evening, so.
Well, that's been stolen by Blackrock. One against the head. There's something you don't hear in rugby too often these days. It's come out and it's hoofed down the field. And why wouldn't it be? It's bounced a few times, creating its own difficulties, allowing the chasers to get to her. And they've hauled her down in midfield.
That's a savage chase down there by Aoife for just not giving her a second to get up the pitch with that ball. Here's the danger of those kicks again.
The kick hanging up in the wind. Impossible to get the distance. Referee allows that to carry on.
Cat smart, and she's a savage ball carrier. That ball went back, thanks to God.
Drive into midfield, still on her feet. No tackle made as yet. Tackle called and the ball comes loose. Well, that's smart work by the Blackrock scrum half. Ball being dislodged. Referee taking it as a playing the 9. Gives Blackrock a chance to put it into the corner.
See a bit of a tuffle there between the Rock and Belvo girls. They both want the ball. Yeah, that's the breakdown again. I suppose if you fall onto the wrong side, the 9 can get that penalty nicely. We find ourselves 5 metres out now, or about 10 metres out with a
Time
line
off
out.
called by the referee. There's an injured player just leaving on the halfway line there, and there's a couple of substitutions, I think, being made on the A couple of wise words being given in on the Belvedere side. Ten minutes gone in this second half. No breaches of the Belvedere defence yet.
No, Rock really ideally need to be coming away with some points here. Nice little trick play again. It's the second one this evening. One from Belvo and one from Rock now.
Sometimes when the wind is this strong, it's not a bad option to throw it short to the front of the line.
There's some big carries coming in here, some good meters made. It's definitely a pressured point for Belvo. It's a nice hit put in there.
Again, testing that Belvedere defence, driving at it. There'll be another forward on the end of this pass.
Yeah, we just have to stay error-free here. We've had a couple of drop balls tonight, so and we're in these pressure zones now.
Numbers over on that narrow side now. It's become the narrow side. Belvedere flooding across there to defend. And you can see the opportunities, the backs looking for the possibility of the ball. Belvedere doing so well to repel these drives, and suddenly one bad pass and you find yourself 20 yards away from the line, and with the referee playing advantage, allowing you to play the ball away. Oh, great footwork, takes a pass past the first defender. Enough cover to make sure she couldn't get any further.
Yeah, that was a huge hit again by Nod. Nivoed out. She just got right up in our faces and the ball went back. And then straight back at it, Aoife Wafer with the turnover. She's looking to go quick. Catch Belvo on the hop. And
the ball goes out. The line was certainly within sight now for Blackrock.
That's some great scramble defence there by Belvo, just not letting us over the line. Looking at a couple of pick and goals here. Put Belvo under a little bit of pressure.
And the referee awards the try.
I couldn't tell if he was awarding that or he's giving a penalty there for a second.
Blackrock find themselves on the scoreboard. And finally, they have breached the Belvedere line. It's taken them 12 minutes this second half, but they're now on the scoreboard. And with this conversion in front of the posts, that will bring the gap down to 18 points.
Yeah, it's nice to get that under the post for Jerks, and hopefully the nice wind behind her, she can add those 2 extras. It's interesting, isn't it? The wind's been so strong, and in the first half we were down this side, and now once the halves have flipped, we're down here again. The wind is definitely having a big part to play in today's game.
Certainly wouldn't want to have bought a Premier ticket down the other end. Absolutely. Goal line ticket at the other end wouldn't have been the way to go today. Another kicker using the services of somebody's finger to hold the ball steady.
You can see Belvo underneath the post, raring to charge this time.
Well, after seeing Colby at the World Cup, everybody's keen at charging down kicks again.
That was savage.
Well, they came out as a pack. They couldn't prevent the ball crossing the crossbar. And 2 more points. As I say, that brings Belvedere's lead now down to 18 points with the score at 25-7.
Change in here. Dan O'Brien she's coming in to replace Megan Edwards. Looks like she could potentially be going in centre. She's number 20 on her back.
Both centres still out there. And the ball goes out to the middle. Somebody else has to travel the 300 yards to go and fetch the conversion.
Yeah, it's good to have Dan on the pitch. Another option, another boot option, I suppose. And we all know Dana has a big boot, so maybe she might be able to cut through the wind a little bit.
There you go. Again, a mistake letting the kickoff bounce. It's bounced and rolled into touch just outside the 22.
Yeah, Belvo will take that now, getting down the pitch any way they can. If that's the way it needs to happen, they'll be delighted just to be out of their half.
This is important territory for Belvedere. One feels that winger and fullback for Belvedere could probably give themselves another couple of yards. in anticipation of the booming boot of Durkin being used. Well, the struggle for the ball. Unfair.
Quick tap there led to a knock on, and Belvo regained that possession. That's the trouble sometimes. Rocker wanting to play quick, but
they just need a bit more patience, really. They still do have half an hour or 25 minutes in which to win this game.
yeah, I think we saw the rewards he reaped after playing quick last time, and if we can get a good couple of extra meters out of it, we'll go for it. But just got to slow that down a little bit.
A little less frantic, perhaps.
Absolutely. We've another opportunity here to win the ball back. We did it last time off a scrum, so
Last time certainly aided by Just Keating's foot. The ball bouncing off it and ending up on the Blackrock side. This time it comes out the Belvedere's side, goes into midfield, driving into the heart of the Blackrock defence. The ball comes back again. Tilly it is. And a try in the corner. And that's a super try for Belvedere.
that's Elisa Byrne-White going over. She's pushed out onto the wing now, and that's a real team try from Belvo. Lovely scrum to set the platform for a nice carry up the middle by Winona. And then out to the wing. It's a bonus point as well now for Belvo, so they'll be very happy with their 5 points walking away from here this evening.
Well, they've got one for the 4 tries. We'll wait and see if they pick up the 4 for the win as well. But that certainly will be a big help. Just psychologically being able to score against the wind that Blackrock hadn't managed in the first half would be a big positive for Belvedere, and maybe on the Blackrock side they think, oh, it's not our day.
Yeah, absolutely, and definitely a big psychological score, I think that one was. But looking up at the scoreboard and seeing 30 isn't easy to come back from. So I think Rock will just focus on looking to just play their game in this half, hopefully spending a little bit more time back down in the Belvo 22 and getting some more points on the board. A bonus point at this stage would be lovely.
Well, Farrell's kick you saw went across the front of the post. It's the driving in there by Nunstead, just taking in so many defenders, and it left space on the wide. And Tilly, well, she drew the final defender, shoveled it out, and O'Byrne-White had the simplest of run-ins, and that takes Belvedere, as Maeve said, 4 tries and a bonus point. That puts them in a strong position now. On this occasion, the wind's working against Blackrock. In fact, the dropout going straight into touch, and we'll come back with a line line out the middle of the field would be unusual. So we'll try a scrum in the middle of the field. You just get the sense amongst the crowd and maybe even the players themselves that try was a big try for Belvedere.
Yeah, nearly sealing the deal for Belvo, I suppose. Still 23 minutes to play, so definitely not over yet, but it's definitely a hard scoreline to come back from Rock's point of view.
Blackrock find themselves 3 tries behind now.
Here's the boot now of Dan O'Brien.
Well, that's just clever play, looking for turf, looking for a gap. Returned with interest.
Yeah, she'll be delighted now with that. Kicked straight out there from Rock, brings them back down to their 22. Same position they have just scored from, so.
Yeah, a bit of the heat seems to have gone out of the game. It just seems to have calmed down almost with the scoring of that try.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that there's lots of stoppages in play as well, so it's hard for either team to be building momentum right now, but Belvo will be favouring this, playing the game at their own tempo, slowing it down where they need to, and just enjoying playing their rugby.
Well, the winner of this game, of course, will go second in the table, depending then on the result of Railway's game today.
Yeah, we've Katie Whelan on now for Jade Gaffney, and we have a big break. Ball
Emma Tilly going round the corner, just the try line in front of her. Well, superb play by Tilly. Used her pace to get round the edge of the defence, and a 5th try for Belvedere. and the score moves on to 35-7 with the conversion to come. Well, that was a disappointing try to concede for Blackrock.
Yeah, definitely. And I suppose it came off the exact same position as Belvo's last try as well. So that's 2 from set piece, coming from the far line out. So it's probably just expanding our width a little bit in defence and getting up in their face and shutting them down before they can get there. But another try for Tilly, I think. Is that a hat-trick for her now today?
I think that is her third.
She'll be happy with that. And she deserves it too. She's a great player coming up. Keeps sticking at it, and her getting the ball in hand, being able to show what she can do. It's great to see.
So JJ Farrell to add to the Belvedere total. On this occasion, she's done so beautifully. Threaded the eye of the needle there. The wind certainly making those posts a lot closer together than you would have thought.
Yeah, Farrell's an experienced player, so I'm sure she's played in all sorts of conditions. She knows how to get the ball over that bar.
Again, you can see with this try, Nunstead making acres and acres of room for the people outside her, and then a missed tackle allowed Tilly just to continue along her merry way. She dotted down the 5th try, and the score moves on to 37-7. And this time Belvedere making the mistake.
Another ball going to ground. I think that's probably an area of work on for both sides, not letting that ball bounce off of a kick-off. It can be really detrimental sometimes. They do well to clean it up though, Belvo do.
Ball coming out to Farrell, and she's been charged down. But the referee's whistle, sharp toot on the whistle for a high tackle. Either a high tackle or he's got a sore throat. Go with the high tackle. We'll see if Belvedere will ask for another scrum again. And they have indeed. You can see from the strength of this wind is still really affecting this game, and yet Belvedere have managed to add a couple of tries in the second half playing against the wind. Blackrock have really sort of just huffed and puffed. They haven't really had the cutting edge that you would have expected today.
No, it's been hard for Rock to build momentum today, and I suppose we got in the first half, but that life was quickly sucked out of us when Belvo went down and dotted down. And yeah, I think it's been really hard to build momentum, and I suppose without momentum you don't have much. So hopefully we can just continue.
Too many times Blackrock have almost let Belvedere escape their own half.
Yeah, I think
get up the field, and when they have got up the field, they've made Blackrock pay.
Yeah, I think there's just been a number of errors, and when you come to the top of the table clashes like this, you can't have those errors. Any other team would capitalise on them. So it's just that has to be cleaned up, and I think the breakdown as well has really been a point of contention, as I've already said about 6 times. But it's definitely been a point where Belvo have turned over that ball, I think maybe 5 or 6 times.
Well, I think the referee has lost patience with the Blackrock front row. It didn't like the position of the loose head.
Yeah, and no surprise, Belvo going for another scrum there. I think in the middle of the park like that, and the wind that's with it, the kickers are going to want to avoid that, and just be able to use their lovely solid scrum that's been working well for them tonight to get up, run up the pitch rather than kick up the pitch.
Katie Whelan waiting to put this one in. The referee explaining quite clearly what he wants to see. And everyone agrees with him. Yes, sir, we can do that. Yes, sir, no problem at all. Ignore him completely. The refereeing the scrum seems to be about perception. Perception was certainly that Belvedere have the slightly stronger scrum at the moment.
Certainly good pressure put on there by Niamh Griffin and Belvoir. Annie Foy for there. She's coming off the opposite side of the scrum to come over and handle that.
Katie Whelan putting Gemma Farrell under all sorts of unnecessary pressure there, and it's left the situation where Blackrock are now just a couple of metres out, trying to keep Belvedere hemmed in here. Doing well. Belvedere with the ball still.
No kicker setting up just yet for Belvo. They look as if they're going to run it, unless they can get into a better position for Dana to use her left boot.
Both kickers for Belvedere now.
There we
using
go.
their left boots, and this one has certainly not found touch, but it has found the ground again, and that is a big advantage for the defending team. Blackrock unable to gather that. They will get the line out, but it's another break in play, and as you say, it's hard to build that momentum when you have no rhythm, when it's constantly being interrupted by set play after set play.
Yeah, I think momentum and possession as well being another thing. We've definitely found it hard to hold on to that ball. Hopefully now we can set a nice platform here for the backs. The wind is howling, though. You can see there the linesman flag.
Coming into the line out now. Well taken.
Yeah, it's
driven
really,
by Blackrock.
really nicely
It's
done.
gone to ground, but the referee says illegally so. He's playing advantage. Blackrock piling in the hope of forcing their way over.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of a sack there, but the maul was already formed, so the ref has gone down and collapsed, and Rock are going to try something here with the advantage. And
The cross kick. Well,
back
the
for
referee was always going to go back for the penalty, but the cross kick was a good idea, but not quite the execution she was looking for.
Yeah,
Came down in a crowd.
yeah, tough to do it in this wind. Definitely tough to execute something like that, but always, I suppose, worth the shot if it hasn't been working. Going up the middle, and also if you have advantage, you may as well give it a crack. Tap and go here now.
Driving for the line, and they get in there, and that's a second try for Blackrock. Well, they've had the possession, they've had the territory, and now finally they managed to get over the line again.
Yeah, that's Aoife Wafer going over there for Rock. She came off the bench at half time, and she's just such an aggressive physical player. It's huge for us, and as you can see there, she's just gotten us another 5 points on the board. So
Well, this could be the start of the comeback for Blackrock. They found their way across the line twice now. They'll be looking to, in the next 14 minutes, if they could pick up another couple of tries, there's a bonus point on offer there. And if they do, one suspects they pick up a losing bonus point as well. Could end up walking away from here with 2 points.
yeah, that would be massive if we could get 2 points. Like you said, that's what's separating the second, third and fourth, I think, on the board. So 2 points in a game like coming away from a game like this can be massive.
Well, Bo's got a walkover today, declining the fixture.
Yeah, that's really tough, and you never like to see that a club not fielding.
Such a shame, really.
Yeah, absolutely. And Wicklow are a really, really exciting side with exciting players coming up. It's a great strike by Dirks. What a
Super kick.
That's unbelievable. She'll be absolutely delighted with that, and I think that will just be in favour of Rock and their momentum to get those extra 2 points on the board.
Well, an extra 7 points for Blackrock. Suddenly there's only 23 in it.
Great
Oh,
maths.
Blackrock sort of
My calculator out here. Great maths for you.
Blackrock starting the comeback now.
Let's hope this ball doesn't go to ground now, and Belvedere definitely favouring that side. That's a great take.
See how much better it is for your team if somebody takes it cleanly. Good possession. Good solid set piece.
Yeah, that's taken back in, so we gotta find some grass with that. And Dirks does just that.
Well, the experience of Farrell had her in the right place to gather that afterwards, and they run it back, and they're up to the halfway line. Forwards piling in to assist. Captain Leslie Ring now.
It's nice line speed there to gain a couple of metres in defence from Rock. And
That was it. They stopped Ring getting across the gain line, and they've done it again now. Nonstead, it is going to ground.
yeah, that's lovely defence by Rock. Just good line speed, good pressure, and
That's a good line taken in the middle. Farrell putting the ball on the ground, and one feels that's a mistake. It gifts possession back to Blackrock. Now,
yeah, not rolling there again by Belvo. If they're going to go for those jackals, they got to get their other player out of the way. It's a real common penalty that we see.
certainly is one of the most common penalties conceded.
Nice attacking opportunity here now for Rock. It's a good touch found by Dirks there.
Durkin it is who puts the ball into touch just outside the 22. She could have gone for more territory, but it was more important to find touch.
Definitely. I think that's a really good few minutes as well by Rock. Winning the ball back from defence, and we're in control now, or tempo, or line out. So let's hope that we can keep going with that little bit of momentum and hopefully get over for another try.
Blackrock could get over again. Still 10 minutes to play. We still harbour hopes of an incredible comeback victory.
Yeah, a nice little driving maul there again by Rock, and Ifa breaks off the back, and it's got another about 10 metres.
We can certainly see that previous try for Blackrock has certainly lifted spirits. Now know that they can break this Belvedere defence.
You can hear there the crowd shouting knock on, bit of a messy ball at the back of the ruck, but Rock still hold possession.
Backwards. There was no problem with that at all. Hopeful referees in the sideline.
Yeah, Rock just got to stay patient here, keep trucking it up, keep putting the Belvo defence under pressure, make the big hits.
What they want is error-free rugby here at the moment. No knock-ons, no drop passes. Just keep going and the pressure will tell. And they're getting closer and closer to that line.
Yeah, Wafer brings us up to just 5 metres and into Captain Hannah O'Connor. Another good carry. Just keep this up now, get our big ball carriers up front.
It's another good carry.
Is that Nevoed out on the ball?
But this time,
again.
Belvedere. Well, Nevoed out. She's the one who collected a yellow card in this game, the only one to have done so. But I have to say, she's had a hell of a game.
Yeah, world record for how many jackals you can get in a game. She's done about 6 there now, I'd say. Still in a good position here for Rock. We know with the win, the kick might not get the distance Dano wants, so hopefully we can apply pressure in the line out and stay down in this 22.
Well, Blackrock know how difficult it can be to get outside the 22 once the opposition is sort of becoming camped. Very hard to get them out of there again.
Yeah, fact, and we know Ruth Campbell is the main jumper here for Belvo, so I think marking her here is probably the best thing. Just try to get up in front of her, get a hand onto the ball.
Campbell's done a good job for Belvo in the line out today.
She has, yeah. She's another exciting upcoming player. I actually live with her.
Oh.
Yeah, she lives in Blackrock, but obviously plays for Belvo. But yeah, no, she's...
Okay, here's one for you. I used to do pantomimes with her mother.
Oh my God, she just told me in the bathroom there. It's gas. The Campbells are everywhere. Yeah. Farrell spots a little bit of space. And
done exactly the right thing, keeping ball in hand and making their way out, beating one at a time. And they've got out to the 22 again. Katie Whelan digging away for that ball. But it goes out. Neve O'Dowd again. Well, you called her pest earlier. She has certainly made a nuisance of herself as far as Blackrock are concerned today. Ball going wide again. Drive over. The support is there.
Yeah, Belvo really stretching the ball, so Rock's defence are working really hard. Went backwards though.
Referee deciding that one went backwards. Belvedere retained possession, but it's very scrappy and lack of support. They could be in trouble here. They made it out as far as the 22, and now they're deep inside that line.
Yeah, I think they're going to look to run it. They have a little bit of an overlap on the edge. And
Power through one tackle, held on to by shoelaces.
Yeah,
They've made it back out to the 22 again, and they're going wide. O'Brien it is. Tilly goes for the gap, tries to take on the two defenders.
Yeah, Belvo have done so well there. They just spotted an overlap twice in a couple of phases, so they've definitely utilised it, avoided that kicking and that chance of a counter-attack. Ball spilled here though. It's Hannah O'Connor down on it and Rock have possession again.
Two players, one from either side, trying to dive onto the loose ball. It came out on the Blackrock side. And that's good play. Oh, O'Byrne White with a superb strip. And now Leslie Ring. She's got 60 metres to go. She's going down the sideline. Is she going to make it? The cover is there and she's brought down inside the 10-metre line. Well, you don't often see loose forwards powering along for 40 metres.
Oi, you do, yeah, sometimes. No, look, I suppose that's the modern back row now. They're hanging out in the wings looking for those balls.
And it's gone wide again. Oh, the unsympathetic pass. It goes to ground, and that's going to be a scrum down to Blackrock. But an interesting phase of play, and finally Belvedere broke the shackles of their own 22 and have made it back into the Blackrock half again.
Yeah, that's really positive for Belvo. They'll be happy with that now. Just clicking down that clock, and good to see. I think Captain Leslie Ring get up the wing on the edge like that. She's been really solid for them the last couple of games.
She's blossomed with the captaincy.
Absolutely.
There's
and
no doubt about that.
Yeah, I think that consistent game time does every player wonders as well. It's class, so she'll be happy and to find herself out in the wing there.
And very much a lead by example captain as well. She wouldn't expect you to do something she wouldn't be willing to do herself, even if it does involve a 40-yard canter down the sidelines. Yes, players so interchangeable these days, many positions. And Leslie doing a great job there, showing us her wing play. So we go into the last 5 minutes now. The referee has stopped the clock at the moment as a number of players are either being substituted or counselled or repaired.
Yeah, and Neva Dowd now, she's coming off after a great shift, so she's had about 60 minutes on the clock, I'd say, with the yellow card, so she'll be happy now with her performance today.
She's certainly earned the beverage of her choice later on this evening. And in fact, will be a strong nomination for player of this particular match. She's been everywhere, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's been really good on both sides of the ball, attack and defence. Always standing up for the carry, but also ready to make the big hits in defence. And she's turned the ball over at real crucial moments for Belvo, just to give them that possession and give them that control of the game.
Often their work unappreciated. Not a case today. Even with Emma Tilley having scored a number of tries for Belvedere, I certainly would have Nevo Dowd down as player of the match today.
Yeah, I think there's a number of players on the Belvo side. Gemma Farrell has controlled the game really, really well, and she's spotted some nice opportunities as well as her kicking being really, really good. I think the 12 then as well for Belvo. Nunstead, she's been great. Her carries, trucks up the middle have put Belvo into really good scoring opportunities, and even I think she dotted down herself. So she's been another standout player on the Belvo side for sure.
Scorer of the first try would certainly have her claims. I like the idea of prop forwards, work away at the coalface all day. She's done such good work in the loose as well. Farrell putting this one through on the ground, making sure the wind doesn't do anything untoward to it. And the chasing Belvedere players putting Blackrock under pressure again, driving over the ball. And I think Belvedere may have snared this. Oh, burn white it is. It goes to turf.
Yeah, that's exactly what the pressure of those kicks can do if you're not regathering them cleanly.
Rutley,
that's your possession.
It is, who takes it in midfield. Comes out again.
Here's Lisa Callan back in action. I didn't notice her come back onto the field, but it's good to see her all right and not injured.
Again, taking on the defenders.
Great double hit there by Rock and a little bit of a momentum.
Again, Rock's defence is forcing Belvedere further and further back, but what Blackrock need at the moment is the ball, and that's firmly in Belvedere hands.
Belvo spread it wide again like they've been doing, and they've definitely been getting a lot of change out of going out the back like that and just spotting the overlap and exploiting it.
There's another overlap into the 22, goes to ground. Is there any support? There is, but not enough. And Blackrock be relieved at being able to clear their lines. See, this is where I would like to see Blackrock now. Nobody in the backfield for Belvedere.
Yeah, seems to be an injury in the middle of the field, so it avoids that quickness. Still a lot of space over on this side in the backfield. Physio's on in the centre of the pitch though, so I think the clock has stopped. The ref has just stopped the clock.
Referee does call time off. We are into the last 5 minutes now. Once again, our game clock unofficial.
Yeah, there's Aoife Wafer back to her feet.
Let's call it more a guide than an actual clock. Referee blows his whistle. Time starts again. Belvedere will fill now with just less than 4 minutes left. They've done enough to take the 5 points.
Yeah,
The bonus point for the try.
Some nice touch found there by Rock.
This would seem to cement the fact that Blackrock it is who will be playing UL Bows in the semi-final of the league. Belvedere and Railway will renew their rivalry in the second semi-final.
Yeah.
First versus fourth, isn't it? Like last year.
Usually that's the way it goes. Yeah, Belvedere going to want to be really going back after their loss last week. They're going to be hungry and they're going to want to get that. Not even last week, a couple of weeks ago. It's a lovely line out one by Kleena there. And a great drive. The maul's been really working nicely for Rock tonight.
Certainly been a lot of positives for Blackrock. Felt that maybe if the toss had gone the other way and Blackrock had had the win in the first half and Belvedere were chasing from behind, it would have been a totally different game.
Yeah, it's hard to know. I mean, that's definitely one of the factors, but I think you definitely can't be, giving up the ball as easily as in the rucks and stuff. That needs to be clean from our side for sure. That'll definitely be a work on. I think Belvo have just put us under a lot of pressure this evening for sure. And yeah, it's definitely been a tough one, but we'll take our learnings from it. And, we still have the other half of this competition to play after Christmas into February even.
Blackrock putting the ball wide, and this time it comes off the hands, goes forward. And Belvedere running it back. It's Tilly again. She's come more and more into the game from full back. Lays it back beautifully. And again, Farrell shifting it along the line. Brian cutting back inside. Whelan caught at the back, and she knocks it on as a result. It comes out on the Blackrock side. Out of the back pass.
Yeah, some more pressure there at the breakdown again.
Well,
that seems to be it. The ref has just blown up, and Belvo will be absolutely delighted with that game.
Well, yes, a super result for Belvedere, playing on their home turf here at Ollie Campbell Park. They emerged victorious, 37 points to 14, but a very competitive, hard-fought game.
Yeah, and there's a lot of friends on these two squads, so I know it would have been a real competitive fixture coming into it. And yeah, I think Belvo have been deserved winners tonight, and they've gotten their 5 tries on the board. They'll be absolutely delighted with how their set piece functioned tonight, and yeah, just their general play around the park has been great as well, and winning that ball back in defence. So I think they'll be really pleased coming away from this and go into Christmas nice and comfortably with that win.
Well, they may enjoy their Christmas party tonight, the old Belvedere team. But we'd like to thank you for joining us as the teams shake hands.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a tough one for Rock coming away. It's always very competitive coming up against the likes of Belvedere, Railway or Bows, and it's definitely something that we'll learn from. We've lots of young players on our squad this year, so it's a learning curve, and losing is never nice. So we'll take our learnings, take this video and great audio, and hopefully have some learnings from it and build on it and build on the next performances leading into next year.
Well, the next broadcast from Ollie Campbell Park, as far as the women's first 15 are concerned, will be on I believe the 6th of January will be the next round. So we would like to wish you all a Merry Christmas and Winter Festival, or whatever else you call this period of the year. We'd like to thank Blackrock for coming down and Maeve for joining us in the commentary box.
Thanks for having me.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I did. You're some laugh.
It's a different way of watching the game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. To be fair, I don't mind now being in the warmth. It definitely helps. But yeah, it's definitely a different way you have to really focus. So,
well, as usual, I'd like to thank Niall, our technical director and all-round wizard, and Ailish, who's down there with the moving camera, the picture that you can see in front of you now, provided with the steady cam. Hands not shaking after last night or anything like that. So we'd like to thank you all and wish you all the best. But for now, Maeve and I and the crew at Old Belvedere, we'd say thank you, good night, and we'll talk to you soon.
Every used car has a story. At Windsor Certified, all ours have a happy ending. Buy used with confidence. Windsor, drive happy.